a state age verification effort, and the best seat in the house inside an Apple Vision Pro. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is supported by the new MacVoices Discord, available to all of our MacVoices patrons. Sign up and join in the conversation in your new favorite online group at patreon.com/MacVoices. The Verge had this one, that Utah has become the first state to pass an App Store age verification bill. Now, we've talked about some of these before, social media age verifications and all. I don't know. Is it better than nothing? Is it realistic? And the subhead says, and Meta, Snap, and X are applauding it.
Sure they are.
Okay, yeah. Good for them.
You can scrape up more information than you ever could before. As soon as you have to do that, look at the marketing information you get out of that as soon as somebody logs in.
Wow, Eric, that's a really dark view of things, and you're absolutely right.
Look at the people saying they're happy about it. Every last one of them are going after personal information and getting it. The only good answer is to not be in Utah.
Yeah.
If you have a website that needs age verification.
Marty?
Yeah, Utah also banned fluoridation, so they're going to have a lot of preteens running around with bad teeth and repressed because they can't have access to adult sites anymore.
Well, this is an app store. So the way I was reading it was more about not having access to certain apps as opposed to somehow we got on the porn subject tonight, but access to that kind of site as well as that kind of material on an app store. Now, we all know that Apple tries to, they try to keep things above board, and we also know that things are there that maybe Apple would prefer not to be there, and they try to take them down when they find them or when they're called to their attention. But yeah, I think this is just interesting. And don't forget, a few weeks ago, we had Australia passing a law that kids had to be 16 to sign up for social media.
Now, as much as I object to this, it is true now that if you have an Apple ID under a parent's Apple ID and you're under a certain age, there are apps that you can't get into because it says, hey, this app is rated for an older audience and you can't have it.
So realistically, again, this is the question that comes up every time we have one of these. Is this realistic? Or is it just going to take care of about 80 to 85%, and the 15% who are savvy enough or who really want access to it are going to find a way around it?
Kids always do. I mean, that's how they're wired when they're younger, is to figure this stuff out and to move around obstacles. And it drives parents nuts. It does. It just drives parents nuts. But that's how kids are wired. That's how teenagers are wired.
You have to build your skill set somehow. I'm all for it. New challenges.
Well, does it have the reverse effect? Does it cause kids to say, I want to crack this to see what's on the other side?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, sure it does.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Let me make an analogy, and it you might not buy into it, but there are several in all of our cities, but there are several architectural firms here and heavy constructors here in Kansas City. And one of the things that they do is they build prisons. Okay, and a friend of mine who was a young architect at the time was put on this project. He says, the thing that you got to think about is that I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to build this room that nobody can get out of. Like, they reminding that the guy who's in that room, or gal, that person that's in the room, they're thinking every second on how to get out. And you're sitting there for just a couple of minutes trying to figure it out. So it's, kids are going to try to circumvent this. How many of us have gone to a foreign VPN to get to the British, the BBC website or something like that, and get her? Just people are going to try to figure it out. As soon as you try to build a fence, someone's going to try to figure out how to get around the fence.
But isn't it the real issue to this? Who has the information about the ages? I mean, it's one thing if from the app level it says, hey, to use this, you should be in this age range. And then on device, the device can say, oh, this app says I should be over this age, and I know that this user isn't over that, so I'm going to say, hey, you're going to need help to get to access to this app. But it isn't saying, hey, I'm a child between this age and this age, and that gets sent to Facebook or Meta or whatever, and at that point a decision is made. You want the decision to be made on device, not send all of the personal information out to somebody else saying, hey, I'm in this category, and then they can decide what to do. If they want to say, okay, no one can use X unless you're over 18, great. Then the device can say, hey, you're not over 18, you probably shouldn't be using this app. That's fine because it's on device.
So Barry in the chat room asks, aren't the developers responsible for setting the age range limits for their apps in the Apple app stores? And I don't know the answer to that question.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not
sure. A lot of this can be managed through parental controls. So, that takes it out of the realm of having it be placed on a particular platform or being placed on a particular developer.
Yeah, and Barry, I sort of think that they give maybe guidelines. I'm sure Apple has guidelines. They have guidelines for everything else. That how you would determine what age range something, an application is appropriate for. And so then maybe that integrates with the parental controls in iOS. I honestly don't know because I don't have any kids, so I've really not paid a huge amount of attention to the specifics of the parental controls.
I think it's a mix of developers setting it and parental controls. You can add or delete any app you want, saying, no, you can't use this. But there's certain apps where, yeah, if you don't have the right date, you're not going to be able to launch it. I think there's a parent override, though. If it gives you an error saying, hey, you're not old enough to use this app, I think you can set it so that there's a parent override, so you can just go say, hey, I want to use this app. And it either sends a message to the parent's phone and they say, oh, yeah, okay, fine. Or, basically you can add permission. But I don't remember, because it's been a lot of years since I used any of that.
Yeah.
Either way, as long as it's on device, I'm fine. I just don't want all of the information going out somewhere else and then they make a decision remotely. Oh, yeah, you can use the app, but we're going to serve up different content based. All that is a way of having age-based advertising. And I'm not in favor of that.
I wonder if the folks in Utah who passed the law thought about it that way, Eric. It's a great point.
Yeah. Kind of wonder who wrote the law and submitted it for them to put into place.
Now you're getting paranoid. Last thing of the evening, and I'm going to give David and Eric and Marty some homework because this Friday, Apple is announcing another new immersive concert experience for Apple Vision Pro, Metallica.
Ooh.
So I want to know everything I can about this, because this is once in a while you guys come up with something that tempts me, and obviously one concert is not a reason to buy an Apple Vision Pro. Stop that, David. But
David, you're fondling.
Gonna give David an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know just how, both because of the music, but also just from a critical standpoint. I know, Marty, there was one that was a concert experience, I believe you said was just a little too personal, got a little too close. So,
lap dance close.
The one that the artist, her name is Ray, got really close.
Yeah. So when this comes out, come back, check it out. Let me know. Come back next Tuesday, and I want to report.
Chuck, you get a headset, you can form your own opinion.
Thank you, Marty.
Well, I don't know if Flores is twerking. I may buy a. Never mind.
What we finally found Webb's soft spot.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I'd pay to see that. So, yeah.
What's a Vision Pro? 3,500. Mm-hmm. That's
cheap ticket.
I was just going to say that's probably a decent price for a good seat.
Front row.
Then you've got the Vision Pro to play with later. Oh my. Oh, Barry in the chat room says Apple issued a white paper on this just recently, assuming that we're talking about the age range thing. So thank you, Barry. We'll try to find it and put it somewhere so that you can find it. But because I did not know that, or if I did, I'd forgotten it.
Yeah, I think they did it in defense of the Louisiana law that was trying to do the same thing. Because I remember that was, and Barry might confirm that, but I remember seeing the white paper, and the previous attempt at doing this was with a Louisiana law that was trying to change the App Store access responsibilities.
Did they end up passing the law? Well, I guess not, because Utah's the first. So I wasn't even aware of the Louisiana law. Everybody's trying to control everything. One thing I can control is that we're going to get out of here and let this panel go and do whatever they're going to do and wait for Metallica on Friday. So we're going to let you know where you can find them, so maybe you can hunt them down before next Tuesday. And I'm going to flip it around. Since Webb got here late, I'm going to give him first out. Webb, thank you. Where can folks connect with you?
As soon as I find my cheat sheet, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So take out your score.
And I'm still sticking with Blue Sky, and it's Web Bixby, WEBBIXBY. At Blue Sky, you can find me there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Webb. I didn't mean to surprise you by calling on you first.
Well, it's right here. So, By the way, I'm on just about every other social with that same handle.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, but Blue Sky's your new home?
Yeah, I'm just I like the name. Yeah.
Okay, that works. It goes with the new MacBook Pro. Or MacBook, excuse me. MacBook Air. Jim Ray, thank you for being here. Where can folks connect with you?
On the intertubes at provue.com, PROVUE.com, and also you can chat with me on Mastodon at ProVueJim at techhub.social.
Great. Thank you, Jim. Eric, I feel like with all of your great pictures that you need an OnlyFans.
No.
Huh. I don't know how that would work. I would have to be kind of like, oh, it's my OnlyFans. Quick, show up and I'll rip the covers off. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry, Jeff wasn't here. I had to. Yeah.
Oh my God, he'd be on the floor.
Wow. Okay.
We'll have to quit blank.
You didn't want to see the reveal. I don't know.
He didn't want to be associated with this ever again.
I'm getting called by the boss. I'll be back.
It had a blaze orange, warning label on it, so I figured it's okay.
Yeah, that's your OnlyFans name, Blaze Orange.
So
other than OnlyFans, where can they find you?
On Mastodon at EA Bolden at techhub.social.
Thank you, Eric. Good to have you as always. Marty Jencius, do you object to Eric having an OnlyFans?
No, but now I know his stripper name, so that'll come in handy. You can find me at Jencius, Jencius, at Blue Sky, also Mastodon. Thepodtalk.net has a list of the podcasts that I'm on. Tuesday here with Chuck, Thursday with Dave, and Monday with Eric doing Vision Profiles at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming on YouTube. And a couple of other ones I'm doing that are thrown in there. You can check out at thepodtalk.net.
Thanks so much, Marty. Really appreciate you being here.
And it's spring break. It's spring break.
Just don't forget the suntan lotion. There, he's dawning. There he is. That's just so you. It really is. It really is. Folks, if you aren't watching the video version of this show, you are missing a lot. Dave Ginsburg, thank you for being here. Where can folks find you?
Thank you for having me. Find me at InTouchedIOS at InTouchedIOS.com, YouTube channel, YouTube.com/InTouchedIOS. Here on Tuesdays, Mac Show and the British Tech Network on Fridays, and Mastodon and Blue Sky at DaveG65.
Dave, thank you. Appreciate it. Folks, I'm Chuck Joiner. This is MacVoices Live. We have this much fun every Tuesday night. You could be here with us too, just like all the people that were in the chat room. A lot of great comments, sometimes conversations of their own, but it's always a blast. So chat room, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here as well. And I'm looking over at the chat room like they can see me looking at them. Sorry. Oh boy. It's just been a weird night. Until next Tuesday, and as always, thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.